We're going to discuss these EV travel trailers that are coming out. So there's two that I know of. There's the Pebble Flow and the AE.1 Cosmos edition. So these two travel trailers are basically they have you know kilowatt batteries built into them, and they kind of push themselves. And who is this travel trailer for? So my opinion is if you have an F-150 or a Tesla Cybertruck or one of those EV trucks that are pure EV, not the new coming out Ram Charger, then this would probably be a good option for you. It's going to help you get that range you need because without, this type of RV travel trailer, your, truck that's going to normally get, let's say you get 300 miles range on your EV truck, you're going to probably get maybe 150, 160. You're going to be lucky to get 170-mile range on your truck pulling a regular travel trailer. So with that range, you're going to be at charge stations forever. So if you have one of those trucks, you want to do travel trailer, you kind of need this type of travel trailer. So we're going to start with the Pebble Flow. And the reason why I'm starting with this is I think it's the more feasible. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think this is extremely expensive for what they are. So, in my opinion, it's just extremely expensive. So you got the standard Flow here, and it's at $109,000, and then the Magic one is $135,000. These will give you about 200 up to 200 miles of range. And then there's the fancy one with all the bells and whistles and all the cool stuff, $175,000. That, in my opinion, that's a lot of money for a travel trailer. So if you went with this option, I think one of these two would be the ones you need to get. Because like I said, these are pretty expensive travel trailers. I do like these because, they're got EV quality. And like I said, if you have an EV truck, you kind of need one of these. Now let's go to the AE.1 Cosmos edition. So I personally have a problem with this one because you have three options, and you have the Taros one, which test drive range or truck drive range has not applicable. I don't think it has any range, which is why it's that. Now, I don't understand that if it doesn't have range, how you're going to get a tax break off of this. Maybe I'm missing something, but that doesn't make any sense to me. And then you got this one that has 140-mile range, so it'll extend the range to 140 miles of driving at $151,000. Then you have the all-in 300-mile range, $184,000. And there's even some higher-end ones that are the limited edition ones that are like $250,000 or something. So there's, in my opinion, they're very pricey. And I think that if you don't have like an EV F-150 or, a Rivian or a Cybertruck, then this shouldn't be in your picture to buy things because they are just very, expensive for what you're going to get out of it. And if you have, a regular truck, F-250 or something, then you can just buy a regular travel trailer. You're not going to be stuck at a station, recharging these things. Another thing is, these campgrounds are starting this new where you can't recharge, massive battery packs, like your truck. They're going to charge you for the power is what they're going to be trying to do lately. And when you have this and your Cybertruck at a park and you're recharging both of these, it's going to cost a lot more. So I'm just going to put that out there that they're probably going to do it someday. And when they do it, you're going to be paying for that electricity at that point. What I'm guessing anyway, is they're probably going to have like a baseline, you don't pay for anything below this usage, kind of the included camp fees. And then anything above, they're going to start charging you for that electricity that you're using because there's more and more EVs coming out. And with EVs, people are going to be charging at the campgrounds and it's going to be using a lot of power. So they're going to have to make up for it somehow. So that's all that is kind of in the future. We'll see what happens. But if I was betting anything, I would bet that's what's going to happen with these. They're going to put some sort of uh, meter that can meter and see what kind of each site is using. And they may even do it on a couple sites. They may say they may have 20 sites of kind of like reserved for Cybertrucks, and they'll say what kind of vehicle you're driving. You'll say Cybertruck, and then you'll be put into that pot because they don't, they're not going to be able to spend a bunch of money to upgrade these campsites. So they're probably going to do a few of them at first. So, that's my opinion on this. I personally am glad I have a regular truck. Me personally, the Ram Charger 2025 is like the all in all best truck out there for going towards the future, because these trucks are going to have to make a pathway from just pure gasoline, because the gas mileage sucks and they need to make a path towards it. And I don't think that the Cybertruck and the Ford F-150 Lightning, the Rivian, I think these are jumping a little too far ahead for trucks, because we don't have the battery, the capacity, the technology to get long distance for travel trailers or for hauling regular trailers. We don't have the capabilities yet, and that's why I think the Ram Charger that's coming out in 2025, they're kind of like the middle truck for getting us there. They're going to have a generator. They're going to have a gas engine that's going to be recharging the batteries. So it's this nice middle ground where the Ram Charger, you can recharge it at home, and all your home trips that are within 70 miles, I think it is. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's about 70, 75. All those trips, are off of your electric house grid, or recharge station. And then anything further, the gas engine is going to kick in and recharge the batteries. So you can get, I want to say it's like 600-mile range. It's some insane big number of range that the Ram Charger gets. So, and I know you probably, if you've listened to my channel, you probably heard a lot of videos on the Ram Charger. It's just, I really believe that truck is the future, at least for what it is right now. For the next 20 years, that's where the future is going to be. And I think the sales are going to really show that people are going to buy that. That's what the sales numbers are going to go towards. So only time will tell, but that's my opinion on that. So that's also my opinion on these travel trailers. Like I said, if you don't have a Rivian or a Cybertruck or a F-150 Lightning, my opinion, get a regular travel trailer, because you're going to save a lot more money than buying one of these. So that's it for this episode. And like I said before, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe, because you make this channel happen.